Can you guess what parents tell me over and over again is their biggest problem when it comes to parenting their children? Well, if you guessed behavior and discipline, then you are correct. If you are a parent who's feeling like this is your weakness, well, keep watching for some tips on how you can feel like a superhero. Hi there, parents. I am Amy, Pediatric occupational therapist and founder of Playapy, here to provide you with some playful solutions and powerful results. Today, I want to talk to you about a topic that comes up over and over again with many parents, and that is discipline. In the past, I posted a video called "What is Authoritative Parenting?" And can you believe it is the most liked video of all the videos I have posted? Today, I thought I would take that conversation a little bit farther and give you some practical tips because that is what some of you have been asking for. Today, I'm going to talk to you about what I call superhero discipline. Now, before we get into it, I want to remind you that if you like this video too, be sure to let me know that I know that you need more content around this subject. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and comment down below. Okay, now let's get into it. Let's get started. Let's talk about how to make you feel like a superhero. The S is for super and the U is for unique. Nobody else thinks of supersonic when they hear the word superhero, just me? All right. So you may be wondering, what do I mean by superhero discipline? Well, super is actually an acronym. It is the 5 elements that I feel are very important in order for you to feel successful when it comes to discipline. Working with children over 20 years, I know that discipline is a huge issue, and I want you to feel more successful. So I came up with an acronym that helps me to remember how to help you also. Okay, so S is for supported holistically. So that is a fancy way of saying that you need to be able to do what you say. If you are saying to your child, you know what, I'm going to take away your iPad for a month, well, then you need to be able to actually do that. So don't say things that are not something that you are going to follow through on or that you believe are appropriate, because you won't follow through on them. It's a lot harder for you to stick to what you say in terms of discipline if it is something that you truly do not believe in. Okay, so remember that in your heart, you have to feel like you can do what you are saying. So S is for supported holistically. Next is U, and that is understood by child. What I want to stress here is that your child needs to understand what you are telling them. So for example, if you're giving them some sort of parameters of what you are expecting their behavior to be, you need to ask them to repeat it back to you so that you know that they heard you and that they understood what you said. Sometimes when we repeat back things that we hear people say and then they're like, no, I didn't really say that. This is the same idea here. You want to make sure that they're saying back to you what you said so that you know that they understood it. They're much more likely to follow along with what you're having to say if they understand exactly what you have in mind. The next is P, and P is for presented in advance. What you want to do here is before your child misbehaves, before you have them go out and you expect them to behave a certain way, you need to tell them what that expectation is. If they don't know, then how can you expect them to really follow through on it? They're going to be much more successful if you stress in advance what you are expecting of them. I can't say they're going to follow it necessarily, but they will be more likely to be successful if you know in advance what you expect from them and they know that as well. So make sure you present to them the scenarios that might occur if you are expecting a certain behavior from them. The next one is E. E is for executed consistently. That means that you are going to follow through on what you say. So just like we talked about before, the supported holistically, that you have to stand behind what you're going to do. Well, executed consistently means that you're going to do it too, right? So you're going to actually follow through on that and that you're consistently doing it. So if you say to them, all right, if you don't behave at the grocery store, you're not going to get to play with this toy later. And then you don't do that, or you do it one time, but then the next time you say the same thing, you don't really follow through on that, they're not going to take it very seriously, or they're going to take their chances that maybe they're going to get away with it. So, whatever you do, decide, you want to make sure that you are executing consistently so that they know that you are also consistent about discipline. The last one is R, and that is related to behavior. What I mean here is that whatever you are stating is the disciplinary consequence should be directly related to what the child is doing. For example, if you're playing with your child and they throw a toy across the room and you don't like that behavior, if you say to them, okay, if you throw again, I'm not going to let you go to Johnny's party later, or we're not going to watch that movie you want to watch. That may seem like a threat that could get them to behave, and maybe it would work. But sometimes it doesn't because the child doesn't see the connection and they're not going to feel like it's fair to them. And so, therefore, they might retaliate because it's not fair to them. So, a more appropriate response would be if you cannot play with that toy appropriately, we are not going to play with that toy anymore today. That way, the consequence is directly related to the behavior that you're seeing, and there is no question as to whether it is fair or not because they understand that it is related to what you are doing right in the moment. It's really important to remember that children can't always foresee the future just like we as adults do. They don't often have that fear of the future that much. So they're often in the moment more than adults. So we need to keep our mind on giving them disciplinary expectations that are in the present moment as well. So in the video of what is authoritative parenting, I talked about how this is the most effective approach because you are being warm and you're providing structure at the same time. And that is kind of what you're seeing here with the superhero discipline. You are providing structure for a child, but you are also being warm with them and giving them the benefit of the doubt and giving them opportunity to be successful. You don't want them to go against what you're saying. So you want to make sure that you're setting them up so that they have everything that they need to know in advance, right? You're going to give them some disciplinary consequence that is something that you believe is fair, that they understand, that they know about ahead of time, that you're going to actually execute if they don't follow, and that is directly related to what they are doing and not something completely unrelated and in their mind completely unfair. I think this is a really simple concept, but I don't believe it's super easy to implement in your life. I am not in denial that discipline is a huge, huge issue. Please know that this is doable, even though it can be difficult. I want you to just keep trying and go back to these simple concepts whenever you feel like you're not sure about whether you can be successful. So there you have it. You have your 5 elements to remember when it comes to discipline, your super elements. And they are supported holistically, understood by child, presented in advance, executed consistently, and related to behavior. I know that if you give them a try and you see that you're more successful, you are going to feel stronger and more confident as a parent, and you are going to be their superhero, because I truly believe that children do have the feeling in themselves that they want to behave, they want to do what's right, they want to make you happy. And they need a leader who is going to help them to learn how to do that. And that is you. So be the superhero that you're meant to be. And you will see that you will be happier and they will be happier as well. Did you like this video? I hope that you did. If you found it helpful, I want you to make sure that you subscribe to this channel, like this video down below, and leave a comment. Also, don't forget to go to playapy.com, where you will find the option to sign up for the newsletter, where you can receive news and discounts and extra information like blog posts and more. And you can also check out Playapy's PALS handwriting program. So I hope to see you there. And until the next video, have a playful day.